If you're watching on channel 18 or 16 in the township, if you want to turn on to 88.1 FM, you can hear the concert in stereo. If you're watching on the internet, you're seeing everything 45 seconds later than it happened. So we're sorry about that. But if you're watching on TV, if you see something you like, run over to the internet and you can see it again in 45 seconds. We have a really special concert for you. There'll be some more talk about Frank Mantooth in a minute, but we want to get going so we can be done by 10 o'clock. There's 1,000 high school students in the back that want to go home, so we have to kind of get them on their buses. Nah. In your program, there's an explanation about this first piece, but for anybody that doesn't have a program, you need to know that Tim Davies was here last year. He's Australian, he's a drummer, and he writes some very unique music. Actually, last year he wrote a piece that we played, and remember it blew this fuse in the auditorium and the sound went out because it was so loud and unique. This one isn't quite that loud, but this is very unique. He's written a 3-part series of nightmares, recurring nightmares. He obviously has some pretty serious trouble, and this is the third movement. It's called Dementia, and if you're watching on TV, you need to know that this is where he dreams over and over that someone is chasing him, and he's trying to dial the phone number for 911 or a phone number for help, and he keeps getting it wrong, and then he wakes up at the end, and which you'll notice at the end, and then at the end we have him waking up and realizing it was all a dream. So hope you enjoy Dementia. Very, very unique piece of music. Going to have Brian Krugman on trumpet up front, and this will be fun. Here we go, Dementia. That's really fun music. Well, we have a tradition at New Trier. A couple of years ago, we had a retirement, and it was Wes Bauman and Phil Smith. Whenever we had Frank, or who was it? It was here. John Fedchuk was here. He wrote a piece called Wes and Phil. It got published, and it was in honor of their retirement. Well, we have another retirement at New Trier of somebody that's very, very special to our program. The kids don't necessarily know this person, but those of us who are faculty do. And there are 1,500 programs in the house that are the same, and one that doesn't say that about this next piece. And that one person that has that program is Betty Brockelman. And so if we could get a camera on her, for the first time in her life, she's clueless about something. Bring up a little bit of house lights. Okay, get in nice and tight if you could find a little bit more house lights. Okay, take the shot. Okay, she's very, very probably going to be very, very embarrassed. Let's get that shot up there. Okay, soundtracks. Waiting for the shot. Okay. How about it? Matt Horrible, how are we doing up there? Matt Horrible. Okay. There she is. Okay, wait. Not enough light. That's what he's trying to tell me. Okay, so that deal won't work. Wait, there she is. Okay. All right. Okay, Betty. All right. Okay. Now, Betty, you don't have to come up and sing. It's not going to sing thing. A couple of years ago, you told me about a nephew of yours who's very special, right? Well, he's written a piece called Betty, and he's here, Jamie Simmons, and we'd like to bring him out. Jamie, and he's going to introduce the piece. World premiere, Jamie Simmons. There he is.
Yes, Mr. Warwick called me up this last summer and he said, I want you to write a piece for the band. And I said, that sounds great. I'd love to write for a band like this. You know, it's really an exceptional thing to have a band like this at a high school. But then he said, well, that's not all. He said, you have to write a piece for your Aunt Betty. She's retiring this year from New Trier. So I said, that's cool. And then I said, we're going to make it a complete surprise. So I hope we did that. But not only that, we have a couple people here, a couple special people here tonight to share this. And I'd like to bring them out and introduce them. It is our family, and we're all here tonight to share this with you, Aunt Betty. So come on out, guys. We have Debbie and Tony Cooper, Betty's daughter and son-in-law. We have Louis and Renee Grockelman, Betty's son. We have my parents and my Aunt Betty's sister, Shirley and Dick Simmons. We have my Aunt Susan, my Aunt Betty's sister. We have Joyce Powell, her sister, Bob Barthel, and his friend Nino Ridgway. It's Betty's brother. We have my sister and my brother-in-law, Kelly Simmons, and Kelly Dockel. Still haven't gotten used to that, I guess. My family, PJ Simmons and my son Sam, my sister Joy, and Kabi Barron. And that's it. That's my family. So this piece, I'm going to be just really blunt about it. I could say that there's just this deep, underlying, incredibly complex program or sequence of life events to it. But you know, what I did is I tried to write a pretty song. And I hope this reminds you of a couple things, Aunt Betty. And I hope this reminds you of the years of service that you've put into the New Trier High School. You have done an exceptional job from what everybody says. This should remind you of your incredible love for your family and for your students. And I just want to give this to you now as a sign of our love. So this is from your family to you. This is simply called Betty. New Trier High School Jazz Ensemble 1. A band, hand for David.
I think you forgot to mention David Crumlow on alto sax. Betty, the faculty here really loves you, and we don't want to see you go. So I've talked to the Secretary of State, and they've rescinded your pension, and you've got 5 more years here, which is about how long I've got. So we'll go together. Well, this next piece, when I was trying to find something for the band to play with Bob Mincer, I listened to every Mincer CD. He's got 5 out there, of which 3 are on sale in the lobby for $20. And and this piece just jumped out at me as something. I played it for the band. They said, yeah, we want to do this piece. It's a piece called Joshua, written by Miles Davis, arranged by the great Bob Mincer. You're going to hear a lot of Bob Mincer music tonight. He didn't write the music, but I tell you, he's an arranger. This is one of the best arrangements of this tune probably ever. And what a treat for these folks up here to get to play with the great Bob Mincer. Bob? This also has a solo by Matt Johnston on piano. So enjoy Joshua. How about that? Now, I've learned when picking music to let my wife hear it and get her approval because she's got a really good sense of what folks will like. So for this next piece, I presented her with 3 or 4 selections, and she has selected for us to perform for you tonight a a ballad called, not really, Hanky Panky is the name of the piece. And I don't know, this is just like, when did you write this? What was the copyright on this? 87. So at a different time and a different place. He said he hadn't played this chart in years whenever we pulled it on him today. So I think this is the only chart he's going to play tonight where you're actually going to have some music up here. That's what that is. He reads music, which is really kind of cool. I admire that in a composer, performer, arranger, Grammy-winning artist. I really do. Enjoy Hanky Panky. You're going to like this. Here we go.
Go.
saxes move. Now, we have some stage things to change here. We need to move the bells. We need to move this stuff back. We're going to bring in a screen. I have promised myself I will not break down crying about this next few minutes, and I'm not going to make it. Okay, I can do this. Frank Mantooth has been here 3 times. Wrote at least one piece for us, a piece called Ballad for a Rough Year, a number of years ago. I met him in 1982, went to a recording session for Doug Beach Records, and Frank was there, and I didn't know him, and I'd been teaching about 6 years, and played a lot of his music back in Ohio where I taught before I came here, and I saw this kind of disheveled-looking guy playing an amazing piano, and during the break, I asked who the piano player was, and he said, "That's Frank Mantooth," and I said, "Whoa, that's like Bach, that's like Count Basie, that's like Duke Ellington. That's Frank Mantooth." And so I got up enough courage, I think, to go over and talk to him. And he made me feel like the king of England and the president and every important person because I was a band director. He thought that was the coolest thing. And anyway, I kept a relationship with him for years and years and years, up until last Friday when I got an email that he had passed away of a heart attack at the age of 56, 6-year-old son, and it really hurt. A lot of musicians have been affected by that because Frank was everybody's friend. His wife Carrie's watching tonight on TV in Kansas City, or watching on the internet, I hope. We've prepared a tribute. If I'm going to bring the screen down, we've prepared a tribute. Tony Tang and I teamed up. And I've been sending him quotes that I've been getting from friends and some Mike Steinell FedExed a video over. And all week, Tony and I have been working on this. And we're ready to show it for you. Before we do, I want to tell you something. I'd like the guys in the Mincer band that want to see the video. There was a lot of them that knew him. Everybody knew Frank. So some of them are going to come out. They want to see this. I told Carrie yesterday that from this night forward, this jazz festival will be called the Frank Mantooth Jazz Festival at New Trier High School. And she was pretty touched. She knew Frank would have liked that. So, starting next year, this will be the Frank Mantooth Jazz Festival at New Trier High School. And it'll be that way from now on. So, without further ado, we have a piece of music that Frank wrote a week or so, or arranged a week or so after his father died, Clarence, and found it the other day. Pete Chrislieb on tenor sax. Frank's band recorded this a number of years ago. What can I say? I hope this video says it all. I'm very, very excited about this. Carrie, we love you very much. Matthew, your dad was the best. So hopefully things will work. We'll have audio, and you're going to be able to enjoy this video.
Thank you.